Hello YouTubers, Joe Kersey here on Thursday, May 28th, 2015 at around 5:30 in the afternoon Eastern Daylight Time. Well, Paul's home from the hotel and he's brought home some treasures here. He's got some stuff there to eat here, and then I guess there's a bunch of, he claims very, very hot chili here, although he said he didn't really taste any of that.
Spanish gold rated.
Oh, very nice. Oh, good. Well then, excellent. Show them your little uniformy thing that they gave you or issued you.
Everybody got a new jacket.
Oh, very good. I'm surprised it doesn't say Hampton Inn on it.
Buffalo Lodge.
Well, very good. Very good. Excellent. So, what was there any protocol given about when this stuff's supposed to be worn, or?
No. Well, I guess I could wear it on a non-rainy day. With a wet rag.
Waffle batter bleached out your pants?
Yeah. This stuff is not coming off.
The
it's
batter
in the fabric.
The batter doesn't come off?
No, I wiped the batter off.
Yeah, yeah.
Then when it dried, I've got the white blotches everywhere that it hit on me.
Well, there's no batter there now. It bleached your pants.
Yeah. So imagine what that stuff does to your stomach.
I was going to say, what's that doing to your insides? Yeah. They're using Clorox in the waffle batter or something like that.
Beats me.
It seems that the front desk computers froze up today, Paul was saying.
Well, how do you fix it? I shut it down for a few minutes and turn it back on.
You have to do the big CPU restart here, yeah? What'd they end up doing?
Like, you're kidding me. I said, no. I said, turn them off. I said, and then, after about 10 seconds, I said, turn it back on. I said, it will come right back up.
Well, we have to turn it back on in a special way. I mean, it's not just a matter of turning it back on. I don't know, maybe that's all it is with the, I'm sure it's some sort of Microsoft-based program operating system they've got.
They're like, we never turn these off.
Well, it doesn't work, they got to do something.
There's a little hole in your cream. I sent you the buttons you were pushing this morning. I said, that doesn't work.
I'm zooming in here on a plant that's called a Multiflora rose, like as in multi-flora, F-L-O-R-A, rose, which is a very interesting plant, and it's been in blossom about week to 10 days now, but interestingly, only today has it started to smell just absolutely magnificent. And we've got a series of these things There's some down there. I don't know. You can sort of see them. I'm not going to zoom. Well, I'll zoom out again. Why not? There's some down by the end of the driveway. I wish this were smell-o-vision. I'll tell you, these things just are, the fragrance is just heavy and wonderful. Now, that's an interesting thing about the Multiflora rose. It was imported. I think it might have been imported from Great Britain, but it was imported. And it was imported I think it was imported in the late 19th century or early 20th century. And the idea was that you'd plant these things and make hedgerows, very much like you have in England. And indeed, if you use them for that, they bind together and, get entangled together and make very nice hedgerows. The problem is, now the problem is, as I was saying, before I had to translate, I'm using that in its 17th century or medieval usage, in the sense of moving from one place to another. The problem is that, if you have cattle in these fields where the Multiflora rose is, it's toxic. If they'll nibble on it. They won't eat it, but they will nibble on it, and it's toxic to the cattle. So, sometime in the late 1940s, early 1950s, the state of Ohio declared this a pestiferous plant. And somehow it was banned in the state of Ohio. Well, if you've got, whole fields of this that's been taken over and you have these hedgerows, how are you going to ban this plant? It would be prohibitive. Now we're down here at the end of the driveway, and we've got some of this Multiflora rose right here. Let me get my head out of the way here. But we actually have a much larger bush over here, which has not yet, interestingly enough, has not gone into flower. Well, I just wonder if it's not gone into flower because the wild grapevine has essentially decided to kill it. Maybe the state of Ohio could have instituted a wild grapevine program to kill the Multiflora rose. Things take care of themselves a lot of times, guys. Here's another little batch here. You can see this wonderful little blossom here. I do go on about that because it's just so daggone pretty when you get these big bushes. There's about 3 of them up in the front field, and that's still going to be on my side of the property line when they get done truncating my place. I hope they fill in the whole daggone place, surround me from all this nonsense. Now, I did have a bit of good news this morning. Those of you who have watched me for any length of time, well, who have watched me for at least maybe 15 months. Well, yeah, 13, 14 months. Might remember that I had a bit of a fling with a fella, a much younger fella. And he decided that he didn't particularly want to do anything anymore, and that's fine. But then this morning I get an email from him, and he says he's in the process of actually coming out. He's told most of his family, except for his dad, and he was writing his dad here to send his dad a letter, because his dad's over in Japan on business. He's told most of his close friends. He's told his close friends. I don't know if he's told his roommates or stuff like that. He's still at the university. And he's got a boyfriend. And he had a very good year academically and in terms of what he participates in at the university. So that's great news. He says, I'm sorry I was an asshole to you, and I wrote back, and I immediately wrote back. I said, well, I understand. I didn't behave in the best of ways either. He says, I'm glad he says, I still want to talk with you. I said, well, that's great. I would love to stay friends with this guy. So that was a bit of my day brightener here this morning. So I've been kind of euphoric about that most of the day, actually. Well, there we are. We'll go in and have a little supper. And enjoy a pleasant evening here. So, on that note, I'm going to say bye-bye, YouTubers.